Hey guys, it's Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and today we're going to take a look at a vintage game called Bermuda Triangle. Bermuda Triangle is a game from Milton Bradley, plays 2 to 4 players, came out, what year? It's 1975. And what you're doing in this is you are trying to deliver cargo to one of the 4 different ports. You got oil, lumber, bananas, and sugar, while trying to avoid the dreaded Bermuda Triangle mysterious cloud that will suck up your ship. That's it. This is a roll and move game with some really cool intrigue that comes from the automotive cloud. So let's go out to the table, check it out. Alright, so here's a game of Bermuda Triangle, all set up for 3 players. Setup's pretty easy. You're going to put 1 boat for each player at each of the 4 ports. So 4 boats, 4 ports. You're going to shuffle the cards for the appropriate ports, so sugar, bananas, oil, and lumber. Flip them next to their deck. You can put them face down or face up. I don't think it matters. I kind of like face up so you kind of know what people are aiming for. And the home port bonus, which is always 20 grand, can go next to the home port because when you make a delivery there, you get a bonus. Then you're also going to set up the Bermuda Triangle with the like this. There's going to be a little red dot here, and A is going to be facing north to get started. And we're going to have the spinner here ready to go. So on your turn, it's really easy. You're going to roll a die. You're going to move one of your boats down a path. There's some restrictions to moving. We might get into it, we might not, but just know you can't move under the triangle. So if this boat moved, it could have to stop right there. If I had more spaces to move, I couldn't. You can't go into a port if it's already full. So in a 3-player game, if there's 3 boats there, you can't go in. You can only have a maximum of 2 of your own boats in the port. And if blue was here and red moved on top of it, at exactly 3, blue would go back to the port that it came from and would not be able to get a delivery bonus. There's a little bit more to the movement, but that's basically it. So let's just get started. So red's first. We're going to roll. So red's going to move 2. They can move any of their boats 2. Let's go ahead and do this. All right, then we'll go to yellow. Red, yellow, blue is the pattern. I'm probably going to mess that up. Red, yellow, blue. And then they're going to roll. They'll move 1. I think they're going to start moving this way. Or yellow, not red. Not red, yellow. Red, yellow, blue. And then blue is going to move. They're going to go over here, right there. All right. Then once everybody's taken a turn, whoever's in charge of the spinner is going to spin it. And the Bermuda Triangle is going to do its thing, and we'll show you how that works. So you're going to spin. All right, so what that says is E. We're going to spin this to E. So what happens here is you're going to take it, and you always spin it clockwise. We're going to make sure that E is now facing north with the notch. Then what we're going to do is we're going to move 4 dots north. So 1, 2, I can't see it that well. 2, 3, 4. And that is where we're going to sit. That could come into play a little bit crazier later, but right now, we're not going to worry about it. All right, so red again. 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. Yellow, 4. Let's keep moving. 1, 2, 3, 4. And blue is going to move 1. They will move there. All right, now same thing. We're going to spin it. So we have G. So we're going to go clockwise to G. And then we're going to go 4 south. So 1, 2, 3, back to the starting spot. And this is how we're hanging out. All right, now back to red. All right, so red's going to move this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yellow is next. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They're going to move this. Bump that guy back to the starting space. And blue will move 2. They're going to bump yellow back to the starting space. All right. Same thing. We're going to spin it. A. It's going back to A. So we'll spin it to A. Spin it kind of slow, but it's not going to hit anything right now, so I'm not worried about it. So A. Then we're going to do 10 east. It's hard to me to see the dots. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. Now you can see the yellow one is, I can't see over there. The yellow one is covered up by the cloud, so it can no longer be moved. So then we're going to go back to red. Red's going to move 2, which is kind of gutsy. Yellow will move 2. They're going to move this one. And blue will move 4, so they're going to move into this port. You have to stop at a port when you get there. They're going to take bananas. And they now have 10 grand. Next person to deliver bananas gets 30. Then we're going to spin it again. F, 10 south. So let's go to F. Uh-oh. I'll show you what happened there. 10 south, if I can see the dots. All right, so I reached the end. So now here's what happens. When you go to the end, you pick up the cloud. Any boats that got snagged up, so you can see yellow got snagged up, is out of the game. We're going to bring this back to the red, reset it to A, and then now red is no longer going to be able to move that boat because they're stuck under the cloud. And that's how the game's going to play until a couple things. Some person either gets the appropriate amount of money, so you can play it, the rule book says 350, you can play it whatever you want, or someone has lost all of their boats by the cloud. That will trigger the end. Then you're going to count whoever has the most money by deliveries and home port bonus, and they are the winner. And that's how you play Bermuda Triangle. Let's go to the top, see what they think about it. All right, well, that was Bermuda Triangle. So this is a vintage game I've been wanting for quite a while. It's usually crazy expensive, but I actually managed to find a copy for not an arm and a leg. Had all the pieces, and it just didn't have the rule book, but you can find rules for these games anywhere. So I had to snatch it up, and then I played it, and it was so fun. This is effectively a roll and move. You're rolling the die, you're moving a boat. But the tricky part here is you never know what's going to happen with the cloud. You don't know how it's going to spin. You don't know what direction it's going to move. You may have your boat in the middle of one of these paths. You think you're in the clear, and then here comes the cloud and sucks you up. The cloud thing is pretty cool. So this is the front. You can see on the back here, there's these 2 sections. These have magnets in them. So if it travels over your boat is going to get stuck to it, and it's going to be out of the game, as it's going to be hovering around the rest of the board until it hits an end, and then we'll take it off. So you're never really safe. You're not safe at port. You're not safe anywhere as long as this cloud can reach you. So that's crazy. It's a simple game. There's not a lot to it. The only hard part is you got to remember how many people can be at the ports. You can only have 2 of your boats at the port, and what you can and can't move to. Pretty basic, pretty easy. But it's super fun. It's a classic for a reason. Everybody wants to have this in their collection if they like vintage games for a reason. So I had to have a copy. So I'm going to give this a BGM accepted seal. I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10 on BGG, which is a 4 out of 5 wrenches on our arbitrary wrench scale. It means absolutely nothing. But we like to give it the games that we enjoy, and that's what I'm going to do. So that is Bermuda Triangle from Milton Bradley. I'm Jason with the Board Game Mechanics, and as always, keep gaming.